Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always a huge thanks for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan. Wood carving or spoon carving is something that I have dabbled with in the past. I first gave it a go on the elementary bushcraft course that I undertook with Frontier Bushcraft about 14 or 15 months ago. I think it's fair to say that whilst I was intending to carve a spoon, what I actually carved was a very posh stick. It had spoon-like tendencies, it had spoon-like qualities, but to be perfectly honest, I don't actually think it would have ever actually helped to eat anything with it. At the end of last year, beginning of this year, I'd invested in my own carving knife and a hooked knife, a spoon carving knife if you like, and I gave it a try at home, and my skill set had evolved a little. I think it helped having my own tools to do it with. So my skill set moved on a little bit. And then just a few months ago, and I'll link to it just in this corner or one of the corners of the screen, a few months ago I undertook the Woodcrafter course, again with Frontier Bushcraft, and I carved a small teaspoon, or a dessert sort of size spoon. I carved, or started to carve, a very large serving spoon, and I also carved a spatula, which I was really impressed. I impressed myself with that. I really quite liked that, and that's sat at home now, along with all of the other spoons and posh sticks that I've carved over the past year or 18 months. It's something that I want to get better at. It's something that interests me. It's something that actually I can do at home. It's quite a self-contained skill, isn't it? As long as you've got the tools and some wood, you can kind of do it anywhere as long as it's safe and acceptable to do it there. So it's something I want to get better at. There's a couple of things stopping me though. Is one, getting off my backside and actually doing it, and two is actually getting the wood. I've got the tools, but getting the wood, you can't just take any old branch, and I don't just want to take any old branch, and I don't just want to start taking branches, without permission and damaging trees. So add all of those things together, and it's not something that I have dedicated much time to in the past. And that's what today is about. I'm actually at my local community woodland, the one that I have my permission to overnight and do my bushcraft skills at. And if you may recall, if you watched any of my past videos, that they run some regular courses in this area. In fact, I think one of the tutors is just driving down the road behind me now. Indeed, I think they are. I'm just going to give them a wave. So the guy for the day that's facilitating it has just driven past there, down to the teaching area. So that's what today is about. They're running a course here. One-day course on spoon carving and green wood carving, green woodworking, and I've come along. I've brought my tools with me, I've brought along plenty of food and drink. I'm going to spend the day completely and utterly just immersed in wood carving, spoon carving, and probably putting on a copious amount of band-aids or elastoplasts on my left hand, because I'm right-handed. So join me if you will. Let's see how the day unfolds, let's see what we cover. And let's see what I end up with at the end. Not just in terms of what do I end up from a material perspective, but what do I end up in terms of more knowledge and an improved skill set perspective. Let's get carving. Me again, folks. Well, the day is over. I've just walked back to the car, which is parked just behind the camera over there. So I thought I would get the camera set up and give you a lowdown on how the day went. It was a good day, it was a full day. We ran from about 9:30, 10 o'clock through to about 4 o'clock, so a good substantial piece of the day. Key takeaways from me, a little nugget of information I didn't realise at the beginning, was that when trees are being cultivated, when birch trees and probably other trees are being cultivated specifically with carving in mind, that actually when they're very young, apart from the crown of the tree, somebody runs their hands down the young trunk and strips off those shoots to minimise knots which cause a problem when you're green woodworking it later on. So I never knew that was interesting. Nobody unfortunately had done it with the trees that we had today. There were quite a few knots in them, but that aside, it just made it more challenging. The big takeaway from me today was we used silver birch that had been felled for us, and I was one of the first here, so we chopped it into kind of 18-inch rounds to be able to carve with. The big takeaway from me was, when I have done wood carving in the past, and probably in the future as well, I use quite a small amount of kit. I use the kit that I can carry on me. I use my Hulter 4 Classic hunting axe. I will be using and use today my Mora Garberg carbon steel blade. I also use my Mora carving knife and also a Robin Wood hook knife that I've bought as well. They're the sorts of things and tools that I would use, do use and will use in the future. But actually today, Jonathan, who's the facilitator today, who is a green woodworker by trade, as well as many other skills to his bow, feathers to his bow, feathers to his cap, we were using I think draw knives, and we're using shave horses and froes and gouges and chisels and lots of other things. So I got stuck in with those at the beginning of the day, you know, helping to take the round that I'd split in half, helping to smooth that off to draw the spoon outline onto, using gouges with a small mallet. I found that quite useful, because in the past I've always struggled with getting the bowl of the spoon started. The gouge and a small mallet really helped to accelerate that. It made it very accurate, it made it very deep, and it was very quick, and I then finished it off with a hook knife later on in the day. So that was a good experience. About halfway through the day though, I kind of came to the realization that as good as all of these tools were, there weren't tools that I was ever going to buy, invest in, or even carry with me when I go out in the woods. So I had a quick chat with Jonathan, and I sort of went back to using the tools that I'd brought with me. That wasn't to say that I didn't feel the value of using the other tools. It was a good experience, and it was good to see that if you've got those tools and you're spoon carving at home or in your garage or in your garden, they'd be a wonderful addition, and they'd certainly speed up the process and probably the accuracy of what you can come up with. But I'm doing my sort of stuff out in the woods, so I went back to, I say basics, I went back to my basics, and finished off with a spoon. Probably the best spoon that I've carved so far. I'll let you be the judge of that. It's up on screen now. Still at this moment in time, some sanding to be done on it. Still at this moment in time, some oiling to be done to allow it to give it some waterproofing and some durability. So I still need to oil it. But at this moment in time, it feels like, when I compare the look and the feel of it to other knives that I've done, it feels like the better of the knives. It took longer, and that's probably an absolute correlation between I took longer doing it, so therefore it was a better quality knife. I've got better tools now than I had when I first started doing this, and I'm more skilled and I'm more practiced at doing it. So all in all, a successful day. I came here to spend time spoon carving, and I've done that. I came here to try and improve my skill set and knowledge base. I've absolutely done that. And I've also managed to walk away with a couple of silver birch rounds as well to carry on this in the coming days and weeks back at home. So all in all, as it always is when I come out into the woods, whether I achieve what I wanted to or not, it's been a good day. It's been a better than good day, because I achieved a lot of personal things that I wanted to get out of today. Thanks for watching the video. Probably not the most riveting video, because you didn't actually see any of the spoon carving. I was here to learn as opposed to kind of be on camera as such. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's made you think about spoon carving or increasing your skill set. Why don't you let me know in the comments below, either on Facebook or YouTube, what's your spoon carving skill set like? Is it something you consider yourself an expert at? Is it something that you need to do more practice at? Is it something perhaps that you've never tried but would really like to try but don't know where to start? Wherever you are on that spectrum, on that scale, do drop me a comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do with the like button. There's also a subscribe button in this bottom corner. If you're not yet a subscriber, go on, be a devil, click on that subscribe button and keep up to date with my future videos. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you for all of you that are already subscribers, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.